Today, leaving us with the memory of those glittering tap shoes, a crystal clear voice, and an ageless energy that made him the entertainer. Brian Rooney reports.
Sammy Davis Jr. wasn't really a singer. He wasn't actually a comedian, and he wasn't a dancer or an actor. He was all of those things, a combination of talents described in show business as an entertainer, and he was one of the best.
If I get a hit record or I get a good movie, that's gravy. My main suit is concerts, nightclubs, going on around the world entertaining, being a variety artist. That's what I am.
Sammy Davis started working when he was just 4 years old, tap dancing his way across America with his father and uncle in the Will Maston Trio. It was a different world from the one that he would help to change.
We stayed at the black hotels, ate in the black restaurants, socialized with the other blacks within that community.
After serving with the Army in World War II, Davis went to Hollywood, where he fell in with the right crowd for the times, known as the Rat Pack. Dean Martin, Joey Bishop, Peter Lawford, and Frank Sinatra. In Las Vegas, he became the featured act in some hotels where years before he couldn't have gotten a ticket to the show. Davis was never a crusader, but just by being a great act, he broke racial barriers. He was, for instance, the first black man to have a starring dramatic role on television. He was the first to admit he was no saint. At the height of his success, Sammy Davis spent fortunes on women, flashy clothes, and too much drink. But in his later years, he settled into a happy marriage, stopped drinking, and enjoyed praise for surviving a lifetime as a great showman in a business that adores you one day and forgets you next.
The best friend I ever had. 60 years. That's a lot of bourbon under the bridge, baby, I'll tell you that.
At a testimonial to his career, after he was diagnosed with throat cancer, Davis couldn't joke or sing. But he still got up to dance because an entertainer always puts on a show.
At least they'll be able to say, he performed for me, man. He gave his all.
And he did, on stage for 60 years. Brian Rooney, ABC News, Hollywood.
And then there was the death of Jim Henson. Came as a big surprise yesterday. He had a bacterial infection that apparently went untreated and eventually took his life yesterday morning. Bob Jameson now looks at the man who gave us the Muppets and so much more.
The warm, friendly family that Jim Henson created with his mind and crafted with his hands became as well known as any friend to children and parents in 100 countries. Henson's lasting mark may have been not entertainment, but education, through the unlikely vehicles of Kermit the Frog, Oscar the Grouch, Cookie Monster, and Big Bird. Henson created the Muppets for a Washington, D.C. television station in 1954 when he needed a job between high school and college. After growing success, he and his troupe joined a new public television program in 1969, a program called Sesame Street. Sesame Street became must-viewing, not just for millions of Americans, but for children in 80 other countries. And it is credited with having a profound impact on the early development of children everywhere it is shown. Henson's voice gave life to Kermit the Frog.
Ooh, the smog outside is terrible.
In 1975, The Muppet Show was born on commercial television. It was seen by 235 million people. In its prime, the most widely seen television program in the world. The Muppet Show not only brought Miss Piggy into her own, its success helped Henson create a huge company that made movies and produced other television shows, including some with animation. Henson won virtually every award given for television. Last year, Henson sold the rights to most of his troupe to Walt Disney Company for an estimated $100 million. But the Disney deal did not include Big Bird or the other characters he created for Sesame Street. Those characters, Jim Henson believed, belonged not to him, but to children everywhere. Bob Jameson, ABC News, New York.